in the deep heart of the jungle, where the trees grow so tall that they seem to touch the sky and the sunlight struggles to reach the forest floor. An Englishman walked alone with nothing but a backpack, a small camera, and a quiet curiosity that had guided him into wild places for years. His name was Thomas, and he was the kind of man who believed that the world still held secrets hidden in corners untouched by modern noise, forgotten objects left behind by time, and stories that were waiting for someone to listen. The jungle around him was alive with sound. He didn't know where he was going, and that was exactly what he liked. But then, as he stepped past a cluster of thick bushes, something strange caught his eye. There, half buried in the earth and surrounded by wild vines and tall grass, was a bus. Not a small van, not a broken car, but an actual full-size passenger bus, sitting silently like a giant forgotten creature sleeping in the jungle. Thomas walked closer, his heart beating faster. He had no idea how a bus ended up here. It didn't make sense. This jungle was far from any main road. There was no nearby town, no highway, no reason for a bus to be here. He saw a dream. He reached out and touched the metal side of the bus. It felt rough, cold, and fragile. He imagined transforming this forgotten bus into a home. Thomas stood back, staring at the bus with determination. He smiled quietly, as if he had just found the purpose he didn't know he was searching for. He didn't have a big team, and he didn't have unlimited money. But he had skills. He had patience. And most importantly, he had passion. He decided right there in the jungle he would restore this bus. Returned with tools. He brought gloves, a crowbar, cleaning supplies, and a small portable generator. The jungle greeted him the same way as before, but now the bus felt different. He began by clearing the area around the bus. He cut away vines and bushes, removing nature's grip. It took hours just to make the bus visible. But Thomas didn't lose hope. He climbed into the bus through the broken door. Inside, the smell hit him instantly. It was a mix of mold, old dust, and decayed fabric. The seats were torn, the foam inside them exposed and rotten. Some seats had collapsed completely. He started the restoration by removing everything from inside. The first task was to pull out all the seats. This was harder than it looked. The C-frames were bolted into the floor, and the bolts were rusted solid. Thomas used a wrench and tried to loosen them, but they wouldn't move. He sprayed oil on the bolts and waited. Then he tried again. Some bolts snapped, some refused to move. He used a saw to cut through metal parts. Each seat removal was like a battle, but slowly, one by one, the seats came out. He dragged them out of the bus and piled them outside. After hours of work, the bus interior was finally empty. It felt like the bus could breathe again. With the seats gone, Thomas could see the real condition of the floor. It was worse than he expected. He knew the floor had to be replaced, but before that, he needed to clean everything. He began cleaning the interior with brushes and water. He scrubbed the walls, the ceiling, and the corners. He removed spider webs and dirt. He swept out leaves and debris. He used disinfectant to kill mold and bacteria. The cleaning took days. The jungle humidity made it harder because nothing dried quickly, but Thomas was patient. Every day he returned, cleaned more, and watched the bus slowly transform from a disgusting abandoned shell into a clean, empty space ready for rebuilding. Once the interior was cleaned, Thomas moved on to repairs. He inspected the bus structure carefully. Some metal parts were weak, so he reinforced them with new steel beams. This was still far from beautiful, but it was becoming strong again. Thomas then started working on the floor. He measured the space carefully and cut wooden planks to fit. He chose strong treated wood that could resist moisture. He installed support beams underneath and laid the wooden boards across the floor, creating a smooth, warm surface. The moment the wooden floor was completed, the entire atmosphere changed. It no longer felt like an abandoned bus. The bus to be practical and cozy. He decided to create different zones, a kitchen area, a sleeping area, and a sitting area. On one side of the bus, near the middle, he built a small kitchen. He installed a wooden counter, cabinets, and shelves. He added a small sink with a water tank system. He installed a portable stove and space for cooking tools. The kitchen wasn't big, but it was perfect for one person. On the other side of the bus, near the back, he created a sleeping space. He built a wooden bed frame and placed a comfortable mattress on top. He added storage under the bed for clothes and supplies. He installed curtains around the bed area for privacy. He made sure the bed was placed near a window so he could wake up to the view of green trees. The sofa near the front of the bus. He used foam and fabric to create cushions, making it comfortable. He placed a small table in front of it. He imagined sitting there in the evenings, drinking tea, reading a book. Thomas also installed a proper door. The original bus door was broken and unsafe. He built a strong wooden door with a lock. He sealed gaps around it to prevent insects from entering. He added a small step outside for easier entry, then he worked on the windows. Some windows were broken, so he replaced them with clear panels. He added mosquito nets and curtains. He wanted fresh air, but also protection. The jungle was beautiful, but it was also full of insects and unpredictable weather. Lighting was another important part. Thomas installed small LED lights powered by a solar panel system. He placed solar panels on the roof of the bus, connecting them to a battery inside. This allowed him to have light at night and charge devices. He also installed small warm lights around the ceiling, creating a cozy glow. When night came, the cabin looked magical, from outside a warm golden light shining through windows in the middle of the dark jungle. Thomas didn't stop there. He wanted the cabin to be safe and durable. He repaired the bus exterior. He sanded the rust, applied primer, and painted it with a fresh color. The bus transformation became unbelievable. The same bus that once looked like a dead, rusted monster now looked like a beautiful cabin. It was clean, strong, warm, and welcoming. And as he sat there listening to the rain, he smiled and whispered to himself, "This is what restoration really means." It wasn't just about fixing wood and metal. It was about bringing life back into something forgotten. It was about seeing beauty where others see waste. It was about believing in change. And in that moment, in the middle of the jungle, inside a restored bus-turned-cabin, Thomas felt like he had found something rare, a true home, built not from money, but from imagination, patience, and heart.